Well, hello everyone who decided to join me on this impromptu live stream that I just had to do after watching the trailer, or not watching the trailer, but actually watching the first two episodes of Obi-Wan Kenobi, the new Disney series. I was so excited. Now, I know that this is normally a nostalgia channel, and this Obi-Wan thing is this Obi-Wan series is brand new, but I think that everybody can kind of make the connections as to why I would be talking about it. I got a couple people here. I wanted to say hi just real quick. Tracy Rothmeyers, how you doing? Glad you could be joining us. And Crow Minion. Um, I'm not going to be interacting a whole lot with the chats. If you want to say something, please means do. Daryl Johnson, hey, how are you doing? And Tracy said I'm not going to be because I want to get to the review part of this, but I just can't help it. I love you guys, and I can't help but talking to you. So let me just say a couple things right up front. Like, yes, I know this is more of a nostalgia channel, and this is brand new, but like I said, I think that you can make the connections. The connections being that Star Wars is foundational to growing up Generation X. If you were born somewhere between 1965 and 1980, Star Wars had an influence on you 100%. Whether you liked it or you didn't like it or you loved it or whatever. So, and one more thing before I actually get into the review proper, and that is there will be spoilers. This is not spoiler free. Okay. So I am not a spoiler free person. It doesn't mean I'm going to give everybody kind of a rundown of exactly what happened, but I like to talk about things as they occur to me. And so I don't like to sit there and go, oh, I want to say that, but I can't say that. I just want to talk about things as they kind of occur to me. So, why am I so excited? Well, I have to say that this little guy right here, Obi-Wan Kenobi, this character, was my favorite Jedi growing up. When I saw Star Wars the first time when I was 4 years old in the movie theater, and then Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, I know that the story really revolves around Luke and Leia and Han Solo and all of that. But but really, um, I was always fascinated by Obi-Wan. And I think what Obi-Wan Kenobi allowed me to do as a kid was have an imagination because there was no story at that point about who he was. And so, well, while there was already the story of Luke and Leia and the main people of Star Wars, I didn't know anything about Obi-Wan other than he was the only Jedi to survive this clone war. Him and Yoda were the only two to survive this clone war. And so I thought, well, he must have been awesome. He must have been an awesome Jedi. And so I was able to, fill in with my own imagination, playing with the stick in the backyard, pretending that it was a lightsaber. The other reason why I was excited about it is that I was always drawn to the Jedi. Ever since I was a kid, when I first watch it, I know that different personalities are drawn to different characters in shows, and I was always drawn to the Jedi. That's just, I mean, it has shaped me, and it has shaped like my life to some degree. I think it's shaped me to a tad religiously. It's also shaped the fact that I am an avid practitioner of the martial arts and have been since as well as I can remember, since at least 4 years old. And so when Obi-Wan came out, there are other good Star Wars reboots and things like that. But Obi-Wan catches me. I mean, it really captures me. And so I was drawn to it. And I have to say that this is what I have been waiting for since I was very, very young. Since 1983, when Return of the Jedi ended, this is exactly what I've been waiting for. Now, this is not to say that uh, other Star Wars franchises or other series in the franchises have not been good, because they have been. There have been some good, some bad. So, and when Return of the Jedi came out, I was young enough that I didn't care about the Ewoks. I thought they were cool. I mean, I was only like 10 years old or something like that when it came out. And it was when I got older that I didn't really care for the Ewoks a whole lot. But but I love the original series, and I liked the prequels. Okay, I didn't love the prequels, but I liked the prequels. Part of the reason I liked the prequels was the same reason I like Obi-Wan. I'm drawn to Jedi's. I like that the whole allure around them, their special abilities and stuff like that, and their ability to fight and things. Um, uh, and so I did like the prequels. I didn't love them, but I didn't hate them either. A lot of people hated them. Now 4, 5, and 6, not 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8, and 9. I don't like those at all. Like, not even a little bit. Think I may have watched them all twice, and I think the last one I think I only watched one time. I did like Solo. Now, Solo was really good. A lot of people gave it bad reviews, and I have no idea why. I thought it was great. Solo was good. But you see, that's not the itch I'm looking for. I'm not a Han Solo fan. I'm a Jedi fan. I'm a Luke Skywalker fan. I'm a Obi-Wan Kenobi fan. And so that didn't quite do it for me. Rogue One was good as well, but this really hit it. I mean, it really, if you haven't seen it yet, I totally recommend. They've got the first two out, and I think the first one's an hour. And I don't know how long the second one was. I didn't notice, but it's really amazing. So here's the things that I liked about it. And I'll give a brief synopsis of the story. But it really starts with the idea of these inquisitors who are rogue Jedis turning bad, hunting down Jedis. We all know that from episode 4, where it says that Vader hunt down the rest of the Jedis. Well, this is kind of the story. And there's a rumor that Obi-Wan Kenobi is still out there, and one of the inquisitors, called Third Sister, really wants to find Obi-Wan Kenobi, and she's kind of like getting ahead of herself and making mistakes and upsetting the Grand Inquisitor, and he's upset with her because she's really pushing this thing. Yes, John, I am live now. They they're hunting Obi-Wan Kenobi, and in order to get Obi-Wan Kenobi, they capture Leia Organa. They kidnap her because they know that I forgot the father's name now. It just went right out of my head. The father of Leia Organa and Obi-Wan Kenobi are friends, and so he enlists Obi-Wan Kenobi to help find Leia after this kidnapping. But the kidnapping is a ruse. Third Sister has actually set this kidnapping up to draw out Obi-Wan Kenobi. And so that's kind of the basic storyline of it. So what I liked about this story is I thought it was a great story. I thought it was very clever. I like that we got to see the stress behind the relationship between Uncle Owen and Obi-Wan Kenobi and Ben, because at the beginning of episode 4, you can tell there's some things about, you can tell that Uncle Owen just has a bad disposition towards Obi-Wan Kenobi. He's like, oh, Ben Kenobi, is going by Ben. He says, oh, that old hermit out in the desert. And so we got to see a little peek behind there as to why they're not friends, why they don't like it, why they don't like each other. And so that was very interesting. And that's the whole scene that you get to see in the trailer. Well, when he's old enough, he's going to need a trainer. And it's like, oh, like you trained his father. So you can see that there's a little bit of a tension there. The other thing I liked it is the kids, Luke and Leia, are exactly as I would have imagined them. They couldn't have been written better. Now, we don't get to see Luke a lot other than Obi-Wan Kenobi looking through his binoculars just to kind of check in on Luke, but he's being Luke. I mean, he's pretending he's pod racing. He's pretending he's, flying around, and it's just what you would imagine Luke to be like, and Leia as well. They couldn't, I mean, they wrote it really well. Leia Organa was, this precocious, very smart kid, way ahead of her. Her age is beyond her years. Her actual age is beyond her years, and a very smart girl. So I think that they did a good job with that. There's a little comic relief in a couple of places there, which I don't mind comic relief in small doses. It bugs me when it's the main part of the show, or it's a huge part of the show. This is part of the reason why I didn't like episode 1, and that's because it really revolved around Jar Jar Binks being goofy. So I really didn't care for that. But there's a little bit of but I don't mind a little bit of it. A little bit of comic relief is okay. And they did have a little bit of comic relief in 2 places. First of all, they had the Jawa who was stealing Obi-Wan Kenobi stuff and selling it back to him. And that was kind of funny. And they didn't overplay it, so it was really good. And then the second comic relief part that they had a little bit of was the fake Jedi on the planet that Obi-Wan finally tracked down the ship. He tracked down the ship that stole Leia. And there's a guy there pretending to be a fake Jedi, and he's kind of funny. He's like almost like a charlatan. Well, he is a charlatan, but almost like a charlatan, like a gypsy kind of a thing. So I just want to say hi to BK. How you doing, BK? I want to at least say hi to everybody as they come into the chat at least one time. So that was pretty funny, and that guy actually redeemed himself. It also kind of answered what happened to the clone troopers, because as Obi-Wan was on that planet, he runs into this clone trooper who's begging for money. And we don't know the whole story, but at least there's something there as to why they changed from clone troopers to stormtroopers. So we know that at some point they got retired. Now, of course, I'm not a Star Wars expert, so I think that there are probably people out there who know more than I do about that. There might even be an answer to that I don't know. But it does kind of show a little bit of that. Like, here's this dejected clone trooper begging for money, and Obi-Wan Kenobi gives him this money. The other thing that I like about this is Obi-Wan's disposition as well as a Jedi, as this Jedi on the run. One of the things that happens in the show is that there is also another Jedi on the run who begs him for help, and Obi-Wan turns him down and says, "Hey, look, I'm not interested in helping you. I am I just forget this." At first he tries to deny that he's Obi-Wan Kenobi, and the guy says, "No, I know you're Obi-Wan. You need to help me out." And he says, "No." He goes, "If you want help, go bury that lightsaber in the sand and go live a normal life." And that's kind of what he's doing. And he has to be kind of coaxed into using his powers and being a Jedi again, because he doesn't want to make any disturbances in the Force to pique the interest of other people who are Force sensitive. So I like his disposition, and he's basically the reluctant hero kind of disposition. He doesn't want to do this, but eventually he does, which is kind of I know that's an overplayed story, but I mean, it works. And I like it with Obi-Wan Kenobi. So I like that. I like that Obi-Wan Kenobi didn't know that Darth Vader was alive. I thought that was interesting, because at the very end of the second show, you see this Vader, you see the eyes of Vader opening up, in his healing gel or water or whatever it is that he's bathing in. And you can see that there's a connection between Obi-Wan and Vader that's made there. Now, with that, I do see a little bit of inconsistency, because when they meet in episode 4, it's almost like they haven't met or known about each other's presence for a long time. And I'm wondering if that's going to interfere with the storyline. But let's face it, they've messed up continuity big time as far as the Star Wars canon is concerned. There's a question of whether or not Obi-Wan is going to meet Vader. I think that's probably where they're going. I will be interested in seeing that. And I liked the bad guys in this show quite a bit. I liked Third Sister, I liked the Grand Inquisitor, and I liked the other two, although one of them was another female, and I don't know if she got any lines as far as I remember. But I thought they were pretty good bad guys. They played their part. They played a villain well. And I've said before when I've reviewed shows that a show is only as good as its bad guy. If the bad guy is too comical or too weird or unbelievable or too zany or whatever, the show's not very good. Well, that's not the case with this show. You have this this girl, Third Sister, who is obsessed with capturing Obi-Wan Kenobi, and it just works. And she's smart and conniving, and it's great. So that's kind of the review at this point. I really don't have too much more to say as far as the show is concerned. I told you what I liked, and I told you why I liked it, and there really wasn't anything that I disliked. As I said before, this is exactly what I've been waiting for since I was 10 years old. All these other shows, they've been good. You know, The Mandalorian was awesome. The Book of Boba Fett was awesome. I loved those. But it's not what I was really wanting. I was really, really wanting a story about Obi-Wan Kenobi. Obi-Wan Kenobi is my favorite Jedi. Love him. I think he's great. I think he stands. The really bad mistake that he made as a human being was that he was too hard on Anakin, and I think he made some mistakes in his training with Anakin. Other than that, I think that he's a superb Jedi, and love that character. So that's it as far as that's concerned. If anybody wants to interact or ask questions or anything like that, I'm not going to stay on too long. I'm sorry. I'm just not going to. I kind of want to keep this relatively short, just because people will click on it more. You know, the Obi-Wan review. Let's see it. But if there's any questions or comments that you have you guys seen the show? Have you guys seen it? And John Collins writes, whoops, sorry. Okay, Ian, are you talking about the television show or a movie? I'm talking about the Disney show Obi-Wan Kenobi. They released the first 2 episodes last night. So jump on it. It's great. All righty. Well, hey everyone. I just want to thank you. I know this was impromptu. I'm glad you guys stopped in. I'm glad you guys came by and said hi. It really means a lot to me. Tracy Ross Myers asked, how is Joyce doing? That's a tough call. I mean, not great. Not great. I don't know if you have Instagram, but if you have Instagram and you go to retro serial. That's what it is. I'm like trying to think. What do you go to? Yeah, the name of the show, Retro Serial. I just posted a couple pictures of her that I took yesterday without her knowledge. And I put it on Retro Serial. So anyway, if you want to have a look at her, she doesn't look well at all. It's not good. I mean, things aren't great. They're not terrible, but I mean, well, I don't know. It's relative. I mean, she can't be left alone anymore, and you know, she needs help with some basic functions and stuff like that. She's super weak. So if you go to Retro Serial, you'll be able to see her. So yeah, go to her. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, far different from how. I mean, yeah, you'll see. I really don't know what to say. It's kind of a long story. It seems like things are just progressively getting worse, but it's not like going downhill like this. It's more going like this and then like a long step and then like this and then like a long step and then like this and like a long step, if that makes sense. So it seems to be more of a slow progression rather than what we were told was 2 months and it was going to be over. It doesn't seem to be getting better. It does seem to be getting worse, but it seems to be getting slowly worse. But thank you for asking. I really appreciate it. All right. So, yes, thank you very much. I will talk to you guys later. Please share on, take one of my videos, share it on your favorite social media. I know you guys are all on board here. So I love you guys, and I will talk to you on Monday night, if not sooner. Wait a minute. BK said, Munem continues to be a very good actor in just about everything he's in. Did anybody see his role as Danny, all grown from the Shining sequel to Doctor Sleep? I have not seen that one yet. I have not seen that yet. Yeah. So, but he is good in everything he does. I remember him in Train Spotting, and from a long time ago. And let's see. Daryl Johnson writes, third sister was a youngling. She has 3 others got caught and turned to the dark side. That makes sense. Yeah, one of the most moving parts of Obi-Wan was the beginning of this show where um where you saw the Jedi temple being destroyed. That was kind of actually heart-wrenching. It was sad because you had all these kids running away. Maybe those were the kids. I don't know. All right, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna go eat myself some dinner and hang out, and I'll see you Monday. Take care, everyone.